I was watching some video, I forget what, but this photographer was like, yeah, I probably did 1,000, 1,500 shoots before I started steadily getting paid. I posted, 2,000, 3,000 photos on Instagram before I even hit like 5K.
Yeah.
And it really made me understand the expectation that sometimes it's not about tomorrow or next year or next month. You got to look at it in the future. What am I building toward?
You're also only seeing them at that particular point.
Exactly.
And didn't see everything that came before that and the work that the ups, the downs.
Exactly.
There are people who've been posting, like you said, for years and they have not reached
Right.
5K yet.
My favorite knife reviewer on YouTube, Metal Complex. Go follow him if you're into knives. But I followed him when he was at 10K. In the past 6 months, he's reached 45K. He posts 14 times a week at least.
Mhm.
I thought when I found him, I was like, wow, this guy posts every day. He had been doing that for 2 years.
Mhm.
Only 10,000 followers in 2 years.
And he's doing something
posting 14.
He's doing something that he loves, so he's
Right.
able to keep that up for 2 years, and that doesn't matter. The growth
Right, exactly.
matters, but it's not
He works
the
a
reason why
side job.
he does it.
Right.
Yeah.
He
This
makes
is
the
my
time.
hobby.
Exactly, and he loves it that much. He doesn't get paid to
He
do it.
loves making videos. What'd you say? He posts 14 videos a week.
Yeah,
He posts 14 videos a week. He enjoys it so much that he posts 14 videos.
and they're
a
like
week.
20 minutes long.
And the
in-depth
audience
reviews.
is just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
For what he's been doing.
He was doing it anyway.
Yeah. No one could be watching.
Well, in the beginning, so he was a car salesman 2 years ago, and he on his break he would go into a car, put the knife on the dashboard, and review it on his lunch break, on his phone. That's how much he loved to do it. Like no one was watching.
Yeah.
Those videos have like maybe 100 views, and he did that for 2 years
Yeah.
before he got 10,000 followers. And I think 1,400 videos in or something.
Mhm.
Like he a bigger knife channel, EDC channel, like shout him out, did an interview with him, and now in the last 6 months he's gained 35,000 subscribers. So now he's up to 45K.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. I was only there for that growth.
Yes.
I wasn't there for the first 2 years when
If he didn't put that time in, he would have never got that opportunity in the first
exactly
place.
like we think about
Not-
PewDiePie
Thing
as,
isn't,
or
it
MKBHD.
isn't linear.
Right.
Sometimes it just takes that one punch,
Right.
and then all of a sudden he's
You never know when that moment's
quadrupled
gonna
his
happen, so
subscribers.
you can't quit. You got to stay on the grind and
the
trust
body
the
of
process.
work.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's sometimes where I have to step back and realize like I'm not nearly finished with this. I'm barely. I've been doing photography for 2 years.
Yeah. No, there's people who've
2
been
years
doing
and
it
3
longer, and
months.
they're still not making a living yet.
Right, and the thing that Kai said at the end of his videos, his taxi driver is a photographer, and he has to drive taxis to make a living. But what he loves to do is photography. And at the end of one of the videos about Kai was making about moving on from Digital Rev, and basically Kai shouted him out and said, "Don't let the dream die," because the moment you do that, the moment you decide to quit, because it's not worth it, I'm not making enough money, could be the moment that everything was about to change.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you weren't close, you'll never know.
Yeah.
And so I need to accept that I'm gonna have weeks that maybe no one wants to shoot, months that no one wants to shoot, but I need to
It comes down to patience.
stay patient, stay on the grind, pace myself.
Mm-hmm.
You
have to accept that the downs aren't permanent,
Right.
and that like after I left that whole project, I kind of felt down on myself, but I also understood that things are gonna change the next day, and they do.
Yeah.
I'll feel better about myself the next day, and then the next day I might not feel as great about myself.
Right.
And then the day after, I'm gonna be feeling like everything is working out again.
Right.
And it's just kind of the ride.
Yeah, I've woken up the past like 3-4 days in a good place,
Mhm.
like mentally and emotionally, and I think that comes with
You cherish that because
Right.
you know it's not permanent.
right. I'm gonna have bad days, but at least I can look forward to the good ones still, knowing that
Exactly.
they're still to come. I've seen like creators that we've worked with post things that they're doing well, and it makes me happy.
Mhm.
Partially because it makes me on two levels. Partially because they're creators, and I know how tough it is, and it speaks to also that we have good relationships with them.
Mhm.
So if they need work, like you said, I should want them to succeed.
Mhm.
I should want other creators to succeed, because if I have the rapport that I should with them, maybe before they just knew me as a cool guy who does photography, but when they need photography, they might remember me. Oh yeah, he's the cool guy and he does photography. You know, so I should and that's something that
Yeah, if someone thinks you're an asshole, they're not even gonna think about your photography.
exactly,
Which is what you don't want.
right.
Yeah.
And so I'm so worried about losing work, and yet I'm acting as if I don't want it.
Yeah. Well, you're so worried about losing work that your reaction is to make yourself lose more work. It's self-sabotaging.
Yeah.
You're not helping
And I didn't
yourself.
even realize that until recently. So yeah, I just thought that would be an interesting thing for the pod, like as a creator, the ups and downs and things that you have to realize, and especially for me, a portrait photographer who works one-on-one 90% of the time, like, yes, if you're good enough, could you just attract people and they'll pay every week and it's consistent? Sure. But 9 times out of 10, you need someone to vouch for you. You need, whether it's a client, to be like, yeah, they do good work and they're good people. You know, I had a conversation today with the girl that and she was telling me that she wants to get into modeling, and I was the first photographer that I ever hit her up. I was like, oh, like, so photographers have hit you up? And he was like, and she was like, yeah, but like I didn't like their vibe and they made me uncomfortable and stuff. And like, and she was like, I just like to work with you. And she didn't mention that I was the best photographer or that I do the best work ever.
Yeah. If you
was talked
made,
about,
if you
right?
made her uncomfortable, it wouldn't matter how good the photos were.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with the Harvey Weinstein situation. Like, he was an amazing movie producer. He's the guy who produced all those Tarantino movies.
Oh,
amazing producer, but he was a rapist.
Yeah. I mean, we know a guy who, at a college I used to go to, that I'm not saying his work's terrible, but I'd never hire him.
Yeah, of course.
Just off morals alone, and just he could be the best photographer in the world,
but you're still a rapist.
His technical work could be so solid that there's nothing I could nitpick. There's no I couldn't possibly say it's a bad photo, and I still would never recommend him to anyone.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, like, if the experience isn't good, or if they make you uncomfortable, or I think what I do have going for, I think the biggest thing I have going for me is the community I've built of, you know, in general, like trust and, you know, comfort and safety. And I'm not saying I should be applauded for it. That should be the standard.
Yes.
I don't understand like that Kim Kardashian photographer that was like getting people drunk and do like, dude, you have 2 million followers. You're doing shoots for Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga, Kim Kardashian. How do you have a job people would lay down and die for, and you're doing that? That's not. Again, he's probably one of the best in the world. I'll say that.
Yeah.
That I'm not even gonna say. I'm not even gonna say his name
because he was
right.
No,
I'm not even gonna say.
talented.
I don't even want to give him a platform because I heard he's trying to start again. I'm not even gonna say his name, but I can't recommend that guy, and he literally is one of the best in the world. And I don't even care. I don't even care what his photos look like anymore. Like it changed my view so drastically as that does. Like, oh yeah, it's a perfect photo. It literally means nothing. You know, she was showing me DMs from other photographers that like they were photographers, I guess, but the stuff they were saying, like I bet if they posted those DMs on their page, no one would care about their work.
Yeah.
Because their work didn't
Doesn't
make
matter.
it seem like they were creepy, but then they were. And it's weird that it's hidden. The fact that I can't say, oh, that doesn't happen anymore. But the truth is, it's happening even at the highest level.
Yep.
And if you don't think, if they do it, somewhere along the line, down the list,
Top to bottom.
at every level of photography, it's happening, unfortunately. I mean, the stories, I believe, like, you know, we've heard models, you know.
Oh, yeah. It's always a topic of conversation when we meet up with people who are established models.
Right.
They all have that story.
Right.
I don't think we've ever asked that question to someone who's been in the industry who doesn't have a story.
I think that sometimes I worry about quality of photos too much when really like what I can hang my hat on is like the experience. Like people enjoy shooting with me, and I should just be thankful for that. That people feel safe around. Because if you think about it, I'm taking them into abandoned places. I'm picking them up. I'm taking them into graveyards. They put a lot of trust in me, and I honor that because that's just who I am. I'm not trying to do anything more than take photos, but it can't be understated that like I should be thankful, even if it's not paid work, that people are willing to shoot with me, because it's not a guarantee that when someone who wants to get into modeling hits a photographer, you can't. It's not it's not guaranteed safety, which is so fucked to say.
Yeah.
But even managers get caught, groping. It's. Cause I know that I've been learning more about the modeling industry, reaching out to places and stuff on my own time, and so I've gotten to know it a little bit, and I know which ones are like reputable. And
that's good. That's good information to have, because models who do want to have that conversation.
Not that I ever want to be an agency or work.
But you should have that knowledge.
I want, if someone is looking for that, I want to, at least if I can point them to a reputable place that's safe and won't do any shady shit, then why not? Because me reaching out to them also helps me. If they need a photographer, I'm here. But I need to know when I put my head on the pillow that I didn't just send someone to a shady place, or I'm not working for someone that's doing, some weird shit.
Yeah.
Because goddamn, when you start looking up,
because then you're liable for that.
Right. Or at least I wouldn't be able to live with that.
Yeah.
When you start looking up model agency like scandals and stuff, if you just type that in, it's disgusting.
Yeah. Well, that's because that kind of industry, unfortunately, brings in people who want to use it as a platform to get closer to these women.
It's very strange.
Yeah, but it also makes sense when you look at it from their perspective.
I guess, but I don't know. If I want to meet women, I'd go to a bar or like, I don't know, a dating app. Like, there are so many ways to meet people that don't.
You see the type
that are
of
consensual.
You see the type of people who are managers there.
Yeah,
trolls.
Gremlins. Yeah. But it's
unfortunate.
It is, and so I should just keep my head down, not worry about the money or the status, or if I get to make decisions, I gotta keep working on my craft, and I gotta keep being a good human being and
being
treating
respectful.
people exactly, and making sure the people I work with are comfortable, safe, they feel comfortable around me.
And it goes beyond the models.
Exactly, and that's all I can do, and I should leave it at that.
Yeah.
I don't need to be.
All that other shit is too much pressure.
Exactly.
And unnecessary and a waste of energy.
Exactly. And if I do what I'm supposed to do, then hopefully, fortune comes our way. Not, you know what I mean?
It's a mix of luck.
Exactly.
Yeah, luck is a factor.
When we're in the right place at the right time, we're ready, and our reputation should precede us, and there won't be any red flags if we keep doing what we've been doing it the right way, with good people. And I realized that that's what I should not worry about, but that's what I should focus on.
Yep. What
I can control. I can't control if someone's going to hire me. I can put myself in the best position to be hired by, making a good first impression. But they get the final say, not me. I need to know what I bring to the table, and put myself in the right.
And also, once you don't get that opportunity, you got to move on.
Right.
Because then that's energy wasted and wondering like, wow, why didn't they hire me? What's going on? Because you'll never know.
Right. And it shouldn't really matter, And yeah, that's kind of what I've learned in the past 2 weeks or so, ever since that meeting with them.
Well, this is good that
it's been bothering me a little bit.
It's good that we had that experience now than when it really mattered.
The NBC.
Because the NBC meeting would be a disaster.
Yeah.
If it was our first week in business and we just walked into an NBC meeting, they kick us out immediately.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving until I get my photos.
Where's the model? They're just holding me.
I want every photographer out of the building.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
it's growing.
It's definitely growing pains, and it's I guess it took me a while because I work with mainly one-on-one stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, better now than later.
I mean, it's not like you burned a bridge.
Exactly, and I'm thankful for that.
We're still cool with them.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm sure they understand.
Yeah. Worry about the important stuff, the stuff that's gonna affect the 10-year plan, good reputation, treating people right, doing right by people.
Yep.
Establishing
yourself.
Exactly.
Working hard.
in the right places. Meeting the people that you want to meet for the right I'm not gonna go to these christenings because I don't want to do that. You know, why would I waste my time? I should be in different circles. I want to be doing goth photography. I got to put myself in different circles and be around them.
You want to do goth christenings, not regular.
Exactly. Or goth weddings, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That was one of the things I was really focusing on like these past few months, is just trying to get used to working with people in different situations. I mean, I've always had to do that only because I've worked in food industry, like food service.
Right, you have a lot more experience.
I've
just
had
working
jobs
in
where
general.
I've worked for people where I don't believe in what they're doing, or I don't trust that they know what they're doing, and you know that is debilitating. And eventually, you have to come to a decision where it's like, do I want to continue forward with this or not?
And you know who else told me? Atola Visuals.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We've been DMing back and forth and stuff, and I told her like how much she means to me as a. She's my number one influencer as a creator, and one of the. Like one of the things I learned from her is just the grind. Like
every day.
She has not that many subscribers, maybe like 50,000. I don't know. She has a good number, but like. She still answers DMs. She's not above that. She still does client work. She mainly does. Her videos don't get a lot of views, but they're always impactful, and you can tell it's what she wants to talk about.
Yeah.
Even her sponsor videos, like Galaxy paid her to like talk about being a creator or how to use it as a creator, and she made a video called "What Does It Mean to Be a Creator," and it was way deeper than most these video ads. And
you also have to understand that those are the type of people you really are going to be able to connect with the most, because it won't be I'm like, it's not the worst thing in the world if she doesn't have time to answer DMs, because answering DMs takes a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But also finding people who are in the same level as us, or like where they're on that grind.
Like
it makes sense for us.
Peter McKinnon doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
The advice he would give me, it wouldn't be bad, but it wouldn't be applicable right now.
The relationship wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, but
you guys don't do similar things. You're not in similar.
He's not a portrait photographer.
He's not a portrait photographer. You're in different points in your careers.
Yeah. He's much older, so the things he's doing.
He lives in Canada.
Right. No. Yeah. Literally, like he doesn't. Even just the age gap, like the way he works and he's established. If he has private clients, he has to attack it differently than me.
Yep.
He doesn't have the luxury of time. I bet. He has to handle himself way more professionally because he's a personality on YouTube. He's very visible, and so he needs to keep that up on stuff like that.
He also has different resources.
Exactly.
To him.
So, yeah, it's just been like eye-opening the past like week and a half that I've been thinking about that, and it's good that I'm aware of it though.
I think what's important is perspective, and just like realizing that Staten Island's a very small place.
Yes.
A very small place.
Yeah.
And it has very little impact outside of its area.
Now,
which is okay.
Right. Now, I think also
there's potential
I care a lot about Staten Island, so sometimes maybe it seems bigger than it is. Because to me it is.
It's your world. It's our world.
Right. To me it is. To me, my standing on Staten Island means a lot, personally, whether that's smart or not. But I'm also aware it's a bigger world out there. But I need to know that I'm good at home before I go anywhere else.
Yes.
And also, I do believe it's untapped. A lot of untapped, so I think it's a smart place to start a business.
I agree.
If I lived in ayahuasca, maybe that's different. But,
the goth portrait photographer in ayahuasca.
You heard about him?
I heard he hasn't left his cave in some time.
Yeah, I heard the clientele. Yeah. But
no, I agree. I believe Staten Island has a lot of potential that hasn't been founded yet.
Yeah.
Just like how Brooklyn is like considered a huge hotbed for art. It wasn't always like that. It grew into having that platform. You could look at hip hop and how there were all these people in the projects who were super talented musicians. Yep. And it was only until like the past 20, 25 years that they have the platform to do it.
Because if Rakim grows up in the 1930s...
No way. There's no hip hop in the 1930s.
That his skill wouldn't be considered a talent.
Yes.
It's still a skill, but it wouldn't be considered a talent.
It wouldn't be profitable.
Exactly.
Able to be monetized.
Right. Just like that's been on my mind, just trying to change my attitude. And not only attitude that with people, but like man, I do it myself. Like I put so much pressure on myself. That's why like I'm thinking of quitting every week because it always seems the stakes are all or nothing. Yeah, it's not that. There's there's ups and downs like you said, and I got to look at the long view, the bigger picture, and we've only been doing this for what, a year? Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's to have the following we have, to be known on Staten Island within the community that I want to be.
The library we built for ourselves.
Exactly, the portfolios. It's crazy.
Yeah, really crazy.
I think what speaks the most is like
we're able to keep going though.
Yeah, and that it doesn't stop. Like we're still meeting new people and stuff, and like the most for me is if you're, 18 to 25, and you're on Staten Island in that alternative community, you've definitely probably shot with me, or I've
seen a photo,
at least seen a photo of mine. Even if you're an Erin Kelly, a Michelle, older, like past 25, you've heard of me. Yeah, I think that's what speaks to me the most, is that the amount of the sheer amount of people I've shot with, not only since starting shooting visuals, but starting photography. Like, I do a lot of repeat shoots, but not at the cost of meeting new people. I think I'll call it reach. The reach is crazy that we have. And I think if we keep going, like, it'll be even bigger. I always am indebted to the Kims and the Giovannas and the Angelicas and the people that gave me the chance to begin with in the alternative community. So many people know Kim, so for her to just post one of my pictures and vouch for me is huge. So many people know Jess and Sarah and Ali and Destiny and Savannah. I'm just very thankful for those people to give me the chance to work with them and get my name out there. Yeah, sure, that happens organically, but it definitely helped.
Yeah. And you didn't realize that you were networking the whole time without.
I didn't. Because they're just friends now.
Without actually thinking of networking. Because it's the same thing as like when we're on camera. If you're gonna try hard to do something, you're gonna fail at it. Right. In a weird way. Yeah. I'm not saying you shouldn't try, but also you have to let things organically happen.
Exactly. Like I think, we talked about the YouTube channel long before we started it, or started at least consistently posting. Yeah. Because I think like now's the time where we're at that point where it makes sense.
It came in at the right time.
Exactly. But I think if we started it like as soon as we started the business, it would have been way too much.
It would have been a bigger mess than it is already.
Exactly.